I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
Yeah, it usually does. Also, just be aware, if I get too personal, like I'm talking about your vagina or my vagina or something, you're just like, hey, no, let's talk about penises instead, just let me know, okay?
Okay. Oh, wait, one last question. So behind the counter is like the mod channel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We get.
You can scroll back and get sweet, sick deets about when someone peed live on the cast. So don't do that. Please don't pee live on the cast.
Hey, we're live, guys.
I know. I'm fine with people knowing that people have peed on the cast before.
Can I crap on the cast?
I'm just no, you can't. And I'm just sitting here watching Link's Awakening. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. The ad's done. Hello and welcome to the Barcast, where the bar gets lower every single week. Your bartenders for this evening will be a non-pencil.
Oh ho ho.
Enigmatic otaku.
Here in the garden. Let's play a game.
Oh my god.
Flamin' word for her. Yes! Milk.
I don't want to play any games with Enigma. He scares me.
And I'm dressed in a tuxedo unironically, because today is a very special cast. It's very special because it's not just a return cast, but arguably voted the best fan fiction writer of all time from BronyCon 2019. We have the wonderful, illustrious Pikachu herself, Monocromatic.
Hello. I'm very excited to be here.
Yay! We're happy to have you back, and this time not in a mall.
Oh yeah, oh my god. It was my first week moving here. Yeah, that was a disaster. Oh, good times. Good times.
But for everyone who's tuning in, and oh my gosh, there are a lot of you, hello and welcome. We're going to run through this very quickly. We are a community-oriented podcast. 100% of our proceeds go to charity. We will talk about that a little bit later on. And if you would like to cheer and donate a little money to Horse Rescue Charity, we will name you out at the end of the cast. So be sure to cheer out on Twitch right now. If you've missed previous podcasts in the past where we've interviewed people like John Delancey, Andrea Libman, and all kinds of other people.
Bill Newton!
Bill Newton, one of our favorites. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and all the places where you can digest your normal podcast content. We are live right now, but we have so many questions out in our thread. If you guys want to get your questions in, we're going to have to make sure that it goes out in the threads. That way we can keep track of everything. But we still are watching the chat to make sure we can correspond with you and answer the occasional great question here or there. Pencil, what's example questions we won't ask your guest?
Based on our rules, we don't ask our guest anything to do with religion, politics, their social security number, any extremely personal details like, where their place of business is, how old were they when they, realized that they were an illegal alien. Things like that. We don't do that, okay? So we're not going to ask about any of that. But there is one thing you and the chat should be aware of. If you look, you'll see that we have a drinking word up in the left. That means whenever you hear any of us, or, mono, say the word mono. Whoa. We drink. And you will drink too. Drink along with us. Have fun. Let's do this. And I know for a fact that there is going to be one of you in the chat right now who asks a very important first question. So I'm waiting for that. Yep, there it is. Thank you, Rundown Jet. So I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. Don't fuck up. I will put the ban hammer on you. And I think we're ready.
Well, would you like to ask the question, Pencil?
I would love to. Hey, Mono.
Oh my god, okay.
Rundown Chat would like to know, how biggest is your dickus?
It is absolutely biggest.
Yes!
The biggest dickus. Excellent.
Now, is it risible?
What?
Is it what?
Is it risible?
No. It is very hidden.
Is someone going to fancy themselves a giggle?
What are we doing? What is this? What is this bit?
Have no one seen Life
This
is
is like the perfect
Python?
This is the perfect Casper Rarity voice, and instead we're just like, oh, we're going to be fancy. It's like, okay, whatever. All right.
Damn it, guys. I'll shut up now.
We've got the perfect 5 initial questions that everyone asks. We'll get them straight out of the way, so that way we can move on to the questions you guys in the community and the wonderful Mono server. That's the 5th drink I want to ask. So let's start from the top. Mono, who are you and what do you do in the fandom?
I'm Monocromatic. I am known for writing droves and droves of Raritwi. And that's essentially it. Besides writing fanfiction, I recently moved to Los Angeles from Mexico to try and make it as a screenwriter. That is still ongoing. But that's basically it. I just really like to write, and I will defend Rarity with my life.
Aww. Now then, number 2.
She said she likes Raritwi, but she will only defend Rarity with her life.
I mean, I'll also defend Twilight, I guess, but like, Rarity's a true VIP.
Truth. And in fact, you even went the distance and teamed up with us terrible people to make the Make Rarity Not Garbage contest forever ago.
That's true. You know, some
I
really
remember
good things came in that. That was a pretty good contest. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Next question. How did you personally get into the fandom?
So one of my best friends in Mexico, she's been a fan of My Little Pony since like the 80s. So actually she had heard really bad things about the fandom and the show in general. So she was very much like, oh no, I bet the show is super bad and whatever. And so because she was my best friend, I was like in the same boat of like, oh yeah, I'm going to hate this thing because you hate it. Until one day I figured, if I'm going to criticize this, I might as well actually watch it. So I watched the first episode, and then I called my friend a few days later, and I told her, hey, so I watched the show. She's like, really? I was like, yeah, it's not bad. She's like, oh, so what, you watched like the pilot or something? And I was like, no, I'm at season 3. And so
As one does.
That's what it does. So it was just like a really, I don't know, just like it was something that I would have never expected to get into. And my friends were so shocked that I liked it that they all started watching it. And that's how we all became bronies. But yeah, that's essentially it.
So the next natural question then that I love to ask when it comes to things like this, do your, I don't want to say in real life friends because that implies something, but those friends that knew you when you were first getting into the fandom, do they know about your online fame and how do they take it?
Well, so my best friends know, obviously, like my offline friends from Mexico knew. Mm-hmm. And in fact, for those of you who've read Enchanted Library, the original one-shot, the artwork for it and the artwork for the actual multi-chapter was done by one of my best friends. So they're definitely like, they've always known, and they, as I said, they also like the show. So they're very much aware of what I do and who I am, and like the fact that this is a huge thing in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
next question.
It is.
Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. And then, for example, now that I live in Los Angeles, I literally moved here because I moved in with another best friend who is part of the fandom, Swan Song.
Yeah.
So literally, I'm like surrounded by people who embrace the same culture as I do.
Yeah, everyone throw a mwop in chat for Swan. It's super nice.
Mwah to Swan.
Now then, MWAP, mwop. And anyway, moving on. So the next question is kind of fun. What do you consider your favorite part of the fandom? The online community, the fanfics, cons, music, the people, more or less, what keeps you here?
I think definitely it's the people. I've met really wonderful people through this fandom. So the fanfiction community, sometimes it can be hard, sometimes it can be good, but generally I think we're all like, I don't know, just people are so nice, honestly. And like in Mexico, for example, we don't really have a con culture. So I didn't actually go to my first con until I moved here. And those are something I really love. And not so much like the panels, I guess, but just seeing people and like people you've only talked to through screens, suddenly seeing them in real life, getting to do cool stuff with them. It's just like, there's really a sense of community that I really like. And I think this fandom is also one of the ones that is like the least overall judgmental of each other.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Which is something that I really appreciate. I've always been somebody who really advocates for being authentic to who you are. So it's really cool that, you literally don't have to be afraid of being who you are.
Well said. The next question almost feels poorly researched, even if it's something that we ask everyone, because you're so very vocal and communicative with your Discord server and your blogs and things like that. But not everyone gets to, so we have this as this kind of standard question. What's one thing that you could say to if there's one thing you could say to your followers or fans, what would it be? The ones that have been with you since day one.
I think thank you so much for staying with me.
No.
And like actually what I'm really thankful for my fandom, I guess, or like my readers, is that a lot of them have stayed with me through the ups and downs of my mental health. Which is something that I really appreciate. I'm blessed to have so much support from them. And I love my readers. As I say in a lot of my blog posts, when I say I love you all, I really do mean it. I love you all.
Aww.
You're so nice and wholesome. How did we get her here?
Oh, it's good old bait and switch, because now we have time for thread questions.
Yeah, let's ruin everything.
Alex _ is up first, who's very excited for the cast. Starts out by saying mono. I've lost track of drinks. But it's fun.
Yeah, we're just drinking.
Number 1, how do I get a meal for free?
So either, I guess, if you have groceries, you make it yourself, and that's a meal for free. But if you want somebody to make it to you, you can just look at them in their eyes, flutter your eyelashes, and see and go, please. And maybe they'll do it. If not, I don't know what else to do.
What address do I need to send the pizza to?
What? Oh, okay. So this is. I'm gonna type it into chat. Please.
He'll do it. Be careful. He'll actually do it.
Man,
like, Mono, be careful.
Spicy none left beef. Number 2.
We'll get a spicy none left beef pizza.
Do you like plants?
I love plants. Unfortunately, I am bad at keeping them alive, which I don't know what that says of me.
Oh.
But I bought this little succulent planter in the shape of a Bulbasaur. So I bought. Yeah, it's so fucking cute. Anyway, I bought like a little succulent, so it looks like a Bulbasaur.
My husband has one of those. He painted it himself. Oh my god.
Right, aren't they cute? It's the only plant I have, and I love it.
I have like 3 succulents, and now I want to throw them all away and get a Bulbasaur.
Don't throw away your succulents. That's mean.
Yeah, I know, you shouldn't. Exactly. You should just get a new one, and the Bulbasaur can lead them or something.
Yes. He'll be their keeper. I'm with Mono here.
Number 3. What is the worst thing you've ever had in your mouth?
Spider.
Why did you have a spider in your mouth?
So, okay, I was a child, and I was dumb. So I was at my grandmother's house, and this is for reference, I have severe arachnophobia, just so you know.
Oh, no.
So, for some reason, I once saw my grandmother take a cup out from under the stove for some ungodly reason that I never asked her why. So as a child, I couldn't reach the counter, so I thought, I'll just get the cup that's under the stove. So I took the cup out. I didn't bother to look what was inside of it. I filled it up with milk, and I drank, and I felt something in my mouth. So I spat, and there was this huge spider. And I could not drink plain milk for 7 years afterwards without gagging.
Oh god.
It was ugh.
This paints an image in my head where the spider came out of the cow's udder.
Oh my god.
What?
Ah, no! Please don't ruin milk for me.
Enigma!
Spider milk.
Oh my god, it was just horrible. And then there was another time where I accidentally ate bugs thinking they were chocolate chips, but that's another story.
Wait. How do you mistake bugs for chocolate chips?
So!
Yeah.
So I was a child, as you can see, I was a dumb child. And there was this time of my life where I was constantly making desserts.
Uh-huh.
So I grabbed this packet of cupcakes. which I didn't bother to I just briefly glanced at what they were. I opened them and there were these black balls inside. So I figured, oh, cupcakes, black balls, clearly chocolate. So I started eating 10 or so. And then I think my brother came into the kitchen. He sees these things, and he stops and he goes, well, my real name, so let's just say Mono. Hey, look at this. So I turned to look at him, and suddenly this thing starts sprouting legs and walking. And I was like, what the and I went to throw up and wash my teeth, and ever since then, whenever I see something that has chocolate chips or whatever that are not obviously chocolate chips, I have to dissect it first. Just to be sure.
Oh my god. That's really intense.
It was horrible.
Now I just have this mental image of Ducky, the OC, doing cookie dissection, and it's so adorable.
I have this mental image where one of the spiders survived and is living in her cavities.
No, oh my god, no!
Why would you? Enigma, what is wrong with you today? Why are you trying to wreck our guest because she has arachnophobia? That would be like if I sat here talking all the time about how your dad left you. Oh. Okay.
You think that scars me?
I mean, you ask every week if I'll be your daddy, but it's not my kink, dude. Moving on. Number 4. What's at the center of it all?
You said a spider.
No, God. So I feel like to keep on brand, I should say Raritwi. So definitely Raritwi. No, you know what, Rarity? Rarity's too good. Rarity's I'm sorry. She's just the best.
If Raritwi is the center of the universe, wouldn't at the center of that be Spike?
It's debatable.
Was that a euphemism?
No.
I mean,
I was setting up for Spike abuse.
Well, actually, see, that's the thing. I know that a lot of people think differently, but I think that Spike or rather, a lot of Raritwi authors eliminating Spike from the whole thing. I think that actually he has a really interesting dynamic. So I'm all for Spike at the center of it.
I mean, it makes sense. Even the most sophisticated societies in the world need a garbage man.
This is Spike abuse. I should have known this would happen.
I was here. Did you think I'd be nice to Spike just because you were here? No.
See, I'm just hoping that one of the stories that comes out on Raritwi Bombfic Day is just Spike saying to Twilight all the things that he likes about Rarity, and it's so sweet. And it cuts to the next chapter, and Twilight says, "Hey, I'm dating your crush now." It's
Actually, it's interesting you say that because I have a fic that does that.
I love this already. I want the Spike cuckening, please.
We're moving on to next question, number 5. How do you stimulate your creativity? Flam, don't die.
Mostly, I do a lot of pacing. That sounds silly, but I pace around my room and just put music and think of stories. And then I had to stop because our downstairs neighbor started complaining, which we later found out wasn't because of me, but it killed me. But also I just I think ultimately you have to force yourself to write. You can't wait for creativity. You have to drag it out and be either you're coming to me or you're coming to me, or I'm coming to you, but I don't know how this is gonna work. But you just have to in my experience, you have to be creative and force yourself to be creative.
Coming to you, coming to me. Why not coming on me?
Gross.
Yes.
No, don't say yes. Enigma will take faith that somebody may someday touch him.
Oh, okay then. No.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're moving now to questions from Tumor. I did it. You've been away for so long, I almost forgot. Love you, Tumor. It's good to have you back. Number 1, favorite main 6 shift that doesn't include Rarity.
That's hard because I love Rarity. Okay, so let me think. Favorite main 6 that doesn't include shift that doesn't include Rarity. I really like Twiluna.
Mm-hmm.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it is. Especially one of my roommates is very a fan of it. So I've become a fan of it through osmosis.
Right. It seems like it's one of the ships that have just survived.
Twi-Ply is also one I really like. Twi-Ply and Twi-Jack, I think. And then I think that's it mostly that I've... No! Sorry, you know what? No. Appleshy is one I really like.
Appleshy.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Applejack just being kind of like the more forward one, and then Fluttershy, and they kind of got apples and farms, and I like this.
It's like I feel like they would have a really good dynamic, especially because. And then I was also influenced by an artist who did a bodyguard. Well, the bodyguard AU that I write for occasionally, and there she has it that Fluttershy is if I believe, a countess, and Applejack is her bodyguard. And something about that, I'm like, that's so cute. Like this tiny little shy countess with her big bulking bodyguard, and I'm like, yes, give me 50 of that.
Looking at that relation,
Then Fluttershy digs into her apple fritter.
Whoa.
So I'm looking at that ship, and all I think is it's a marriage of convenience. Like Applejack just needs a live-in veterinarian.
Oh God. That's awful.
It's like, I mean, ultimately, like, honestly, I think a lot of ships, like, they work. If you, like, there's ways to make, like, you can always find a thread, I feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, what is your least favorite ship of the main 6?
Well, I don't like ship bashing or anything, so I'm not gonna say, like, not that I hate anything, but I think
What ship is extremely hard to find the thread for, using your own words?
Why are you being nice? No, freeze. Make her answer the question, which ship is objectively garbage?
What ship is just utter trash?
So to be clear, I don't think it's utter trash, what I'm about to say.
Okay, I'm ready.
But I think I've been, Raritwi is a ship that unfortunately has been given to me in negative ways. So, like, that's made me think negatively about it. And, like, not anymore since I have more friends that ship Raritwi, so I'm kind of like, okay. And it was also actually my first ship back when I first started in the fandom. But I've had, like, bad experiences with fans from that ship, so it's kind of, like, soured me on it. And then from a writing perspective, I think, actually, well, that's the thing. I think I could, like, honestly be on board any ship. It's just the ones that I don't like is because I've had negative experiences. Like Sparity was one that was kind of soured on me because a lot of Sparity fans were really, there was a period of time where they were very aggressive against Raritwi fics.
Huh.
So it's kind of like, hey, we're not like messing with you guys. Why are you coming into our fics and like shitting on us, I guess?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't really like saying I hate the ship itself because I think they can all have really interesting dynamics.
You don't hate the ship, you hate the people. Got it.
Yeah, I hate the people that sort of like...
people. You heard it here first.
It's true! I'm an antisocial. It's so true.
You're... What? Okay.
You make it sound like all these different shippers are in cliques and it's like West Side Story.
It kind of is, though.
It's, yeah, like, for some it is. And, like, the thing is, I think especially early on in the fandom, like, I saw a lot more ship hate. I don't see that anymore, which is something I'm very grateful for. I think everybody's just, like, getting along.
Well.
No, we're trying. Some of them are trying.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it was literally, like, there was especially one story that got really bombarded. And so you kind of get defensive for your other Raritwi, like, the other people who write for your ship, because you're like, hey, we're not really doing anything wrong, so, like, there's no need for this. But, like, literally, like, Raritwi, I can think of cute ideas, and good dynamics. Sparity, too. Like, it's hard for me as a writer to hate a ship in particular because I can see how it would work.
Now, I know we could talk about this for hours, but I know that we have a lot of questions to get to, and we need to get to the rest of Mare's questions because I want to finish up.
So number 3.
Yeah.
Quack.
Number
4. Any more hints about what is coming up in the Enchanted Kingdom?
So I can say that specifically this next arc that is coming up is going to be probably one of the most important things I write in my entire fandom career.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well, it's something that I've really been working for, and especially has to do a lot with mental health and a thread of mental health that I've been working on. So I'm like very, very terrified of what's going to happen. But I also think it's like one of the storylines I'm the proudest of have ever like writing or going to be writing. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be intense. But my writers already know, well, my readers should already know that that's how I roll. But for those who hang on, I think it's going to be like really, really meaningful.
Love it. I also love the silent implication that like your fans are like the Bloods. That's how you roll.
Your Bloods or his sluts? Because I heard you say sluts.
I heard blunt, and you also roll blunts, so I was like...
This is awful.
Anyway,
it could be like the Crips, but like the ships.
Please
there we
go
go.
on.
I made it work. Okay. Next question, bonus. Do you have any plans to write a Raritwi ship based on, I'm going to ruin this name, Dolaris's Many Faces of Twilight Sparkle series of pictures? If not, you should consider it. It's the most romantically charged depiction of Twilight and Rarity that I've ever seen. Here are some examples, posting the pictures in our chat room.
I think this is really a how do these make you feel?
Yes, how do these make you feel?
So they're very like they're very out there, but I'm not gonna lie, they're like pretty funny. So
I love this one so much. I love it aggressively. I'll tell you what. I will write you a Raritwi fic based on the second one for you, just for you, Mono.
Dude, I'll do it. I'll read it.
We'll do it on Bomb Fic Day.
We'll do it.
I'm down.
Terry the Human's up next. Number 1, what is your favorite and least favorite MLP episode?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think oh, that's what she said. Anyway,
Hey!
I think my favorite episode is definitely either a tie between Rarity Investigates and Amending Fences, also one I really love. And I think I don't know, actually. I think oh no, never mind. No. So my favorite absolute episode is Saddle Row Review. I love everything about Saddle Row Review. It's like so good, everything about it. And then my least favorite MLP episode, I think, is Oh, that's a hard one, actually. I don't know, actually. I can't think of one that I'm like.
Would you like me to give you my least favorite episode?
Go ahead.
The one where it takes Applejack 6 hours to feed pigs.
What episode is that?
Oh,
the one where they
you
go
have
to
to do
the
it my
spa.
way or else. Yeah, relax.
Day.
Oh, you know what? I might not have seen that yet. I am like, admittedly, I'm a little bit far behind on newer episodes. I think I can think one that I wouldn't watch again. I think actually the Barrel and Hoof one is one that I like watched it once. I was like, okay, and then never really felt like watching it again. But there's not one that I actively think like I hate everything about this.
Barrel and Hoof? Which one was that one?
The one where it's the apple ponies against the
Over a barrel.
Sorry, yes, Over a Barrel.
Isn't that the one? Wait, isn't that the one where Applejack ran away and didn't want to come home because of some contest?
No, that was another one.
Oh
No, this is the Appaloosa episode.
Yeah, this is the one where
the
they
bison?
like. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, the bison.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember showing that to someone, and they distinctly thought it was racist. Anyway.
I can't deal with, you gotta share, you gotta care. Like, it really is. It's the worst thing. Anyway.
Number 2, what is your favorite memory as a brony?
So there's a lot of good memories. I'm not gonna lie, the most recent one that comes to mind is There Can Only Be One panel at BronyCon, because that was like the most surreal moment of my entire goddamn life. The contest, There Can Only Be One, where it was like the finalists.
Right, yes.
That was like really surreal for me. But I don't know. Honestly, I have so many. It sounds super cliche. I have so many good memories that it's like hard to pick one.
Aw.
But I think BronyCon, like this past BronyCon, had a lot of my like really nice memories for me.
Awesome. And we're very happy to not be one of those wonderful memories. So.
Of course, you're part of those.
See, when you're saying like happy memories in my head, there's this like montage with slow music playing, and all I see is LineCon.
Oh yeah. It was LineCon. It was pretty
Bring in
bad.
LineCon.
See, but the point of it wasn't the. Actually, I was gonna make a important thing, but I lost train of my thought. Never mind. Ignore me.
Number 3, asking you a direct question. Who is worse, Zephyr Breeze or Spoiled Rich?
Spoiled Rich.
Why?
Because Zephyr is like clearly a struggling millennial or whatever. Like Spoiled
Yes.
Rich. Yeah,
I
but
mean-
the thing is, like objectively thinking, Zephyr can only like really ruin his own life. Spoiled Rich can ruin the life of her child. And
Thank you. I've said this exact thing so many times when this question comes up. Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. Okay.
When you said that Zephyr Breeze can ruin his own life, I had this mental image where Naruto ran into Area 51.
I mean, he might. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, Spoiled Rich is, I think, worst because she is actively destroying or, like, severely impacting the life of somebody else.
Yeah.
And they can't really do anything about it. While Zephyr Breeze is just like, I mean, these are your choices, dude. So.
Number 4, what is your favorite male-female ships?
I love Cadence and Shining Armor.
Good taste.
Gross. Married couples. Anyway.
I mean,
Hey,
it's
there's,
just,
there's nothing wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Cake.
I love them. The cake. So the cakes I love also. I was really into. Oh, you know what? I also really like Big Mac and Fluttershy. If that was a thing that had happened. What other canon ships do I like? Oh, not canon ships. Sorry, MF ships.
Well,
I
that's it.
think that's mostly it that I can think of.
Awesome.
Wait, no. Fancy Pants and Fleur de Lis.
Ah.
Aren't they already?
You and the married couple.
Are
Huh?
they married?
I thought they were, yeah.
For all we know, they could be brother and sister.
No.
No, they strike
No.
me as
doubt
an
it.
open relationship.
Yeah, that's like that. That's how I look at them. And in fact, in one a fic I have them literally like in an open relationship, and they're like, it's just I love them. I think actually, yeah, that's my favorite. Depending on how it's written, Fleur and Fancy can be like my absolute favorite MF ship.
Well, Fancy Pants does have that mustache that screams swinger.
That screams? Does it scream really loud?
Yeah, it screams.
We're gonna move on to the next question.
Get
Oh my
the
God, please
fuck
don't
out
stop.
of here, Elmer Fudd.
Oh, whoa. How much of a Mary Sue is Flurry?
Honestly, because she's a child, I don't know. Like I can't say. Like sure, she's an alicorn, and so depending on your mileage, that's OP or not. But I think she's a cute baby, so I'm like, yeah, I like you. Like,
A cute baby. Have you seen her head and wing proportions?
well, like okay, sorry, but like in attitude, she's cute, and I think the episode where Twilight babysits her like won me over. I really liked her in that episode.
I'm really sorry, but ever since someone told me, I think it was you, Enigma, and I hate you for this. You said she acts like a dog that episode, and I just can't not see it. It hurts my soul that
Well, babies
Flurry Heart.
kind of do act like dogs, though, Priest.
Well, have you seen child leashes? Children are pets, essentially.
Yeah, they're kind of like really excited golden retrievers that cry longer.
Kind of want a baby now.
No.
Moving on. Number 6 is Flurry Heart a demon from hell?
Absolutely, and I still love her.
Well, the weird thing is she's the only child in the show who was born with a soul. If you look at the eyes of the Cake twins, they have soulless black eyes. Every other child does. She's the only one who was born with pupils.
So I guess he's an angel.
Speaking of angels, cutting in, who among the Barcast would you turn into a Mary Sue Alicorn, number 7?
You.
Oh.
Priest? Why? Oh, I gotta know.
Well, because I don't want to make Pencil and marry Sue Alicorn.
Yeah, I would kill everyone. So
you don't want to make her the Alicorn Princess of Marinara.
I would kill.
And I think Priest would make I think Priest would like use his Alicorn powers to like spread good around the world. So I'm like, yeah.
He would too. He's such a wholesome person.
So that's who I would choose. Priesticorn.
Priesticorn.
I'm changing my name on Discord.
Priesticorn, the Alicorn Princess of Corn.
Also, that face would make a cute Alicorn. Okay, moving on. Number 9. No, it's number 8. My bad. I'm all flustered. Do you like ponies that have freckles? Blech.
Fleckles, yes, Fleckles.
I I can't even talk. I almost said absolutely.
The term fleckles makes me think they're freckles that flake off.
I like absolutely. I like absolutely.
I make mistakes. Like one time I was reading a story to Swan, and instead of saying Sweetie Belle, I said Squeegee Belle, and he's never let. And then I made it worse because it was Squeegee Belle went into the kitchen, and he's never let me live it down. Like
everything
never.
You say is cute.
Yeah, he's never gonna let me live it down. But I love freckles. I think they're super cute. I'm down for every pony having freckles.
Well, Mono, I think your vocal mistakes can be forgiven, seeing as you're actually a duck.
Oh, it's true. Quack.
Priest.
Number 9. Who would you befriend if you were a pony?
Probably Pinky. And Fluttershy.
I think Toomer just had like a connection.
I think like Rarity would intimidate the hell out of me, so I would be like, no. Definitely, yeah, Fluttershy and Pinky, I think.
I can see you like worshiping Rarity from afar.
No, because she's like. So historically, I've always been bad with people who are into fashion. Like I don't know, like she seems so intimidating that I'd be like, no, I'm like, yeah. So
people of high society frighten you?
No, because she's not really high society. It would be more like. So, in order to explain why Rarity would intimidate me, I would have to get into my life story, which we do not have time for, so I guess you'll have to wait for that until another time.
You literally wrote, like, an entire blog on Raritwi and high society and how it all works together. It's actually a really great read.
Yeah, so that sort of explains why I would be intimidated. But, like, yeah.
So, if you do have the link to that blog, we'll happily share it. It's a really great read.
I'll try to find it.
And while you're thinking of that, number 10, who is the one you would betray as a pony?
Who would I betray as a pony? Betray? Why am I betraying
Rich, clearly.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. First, I need to know why I'm betraying them. But probably Rarity, because she would see my fashion sense and be like, feel like horrified beyond horrificness.
I like this mental image where she just makes a small comment about your scarf or something. You just decide to dedicate your life to destroy hers.
Oh my god, no. Actually, that's another reason I would be too intimidated, because like usually with people who are super fashion forward, I'm like, I feel like I'm not really good at fashion. So I'd be like, I don't want to be judged. So, no.
You just walk into her boutique, she looks at you and goes, "What are those?"
Honestly, yeah. No, worst nightmare. No, thank you.
All right. And then number 11, what do you think of this baby pony foal? Would you adopt this guy? Picture for reference out in the chat. It's a very cute bat pony.
Absolutely.
Adorable.
I don't know if I'd be a good mom, but I'll do it.
You'd be a great mom. You're nice. That's you care about people, and you're like a genuine human being. So you know what? You'd be fine.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely can still bring down the hammer when angry, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is also true.
Now then, I'm going to spread the love a little bit. Flam, why don't you take RK Striker JK5's question?
Assuming Flam has been keeping up with the chat, which I hope he has, which I suspect he hasn't.
Well, look at you with little faith in me.
Yep.
Well, I'll have you know that I'm incontinent right now.
Fuck off! What?
So RK Striker JK5's questions, right? So
Yes.
RK Striker JK5 asks, number 1, what is your favorite non-MLP franchise?
So I guess the Disney Scrooge McDuck universe would be the answer.
Huh.
Because I love those comics, so like I will die for them. I suppose DuckTales is included in that, but I have thoughts
DuckTales
about
is great.
DuckTales.
Excuse me, you did not say it correctly. We don't say DuckTales, we go DuckTales. Woo!
Oh God, I have to tell you something, Mono, and it's dumb, and I haven't told anyone because I don't think anyone else would care.
Go.
Do it.
So DuckTales, the other day, my husband was watching DuckTales with me, and he was in the kitchen. I'm like, and I started to sing the song, and I just went, DuckTales, and he went, ooh, woo, and I was like, I will kill you. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
So now I can't not hear DuckTales, ooh, woo, and I'm really mad at him.
Oh, you've ruined it for me. No, I can't unhear it.
I know.
I have a question here for the three of us who I assume have caught up with DuckTales. Are we caught up with DuckTales?
Yes, I am.
No, fuck off. Please don't.
No, damn it, you're not? I was going to say
No,
so.
please don't. I'm catching up.
We have so many questions in the thread. Let's stick to them.
Yes, let's go. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Very well. Number 2, have you ever done anything for a non-MLP franchise?
Yes, I actually started out writing for Pokemon when I was like 12.
Oh.
After Pokemon, I wrote a little bit for Inuyasha. And then I went into, like, for 5 years of my life, I was, like, a diehard Futurama fan.
Oh my
So
God.
I was, like, a living, breathing Futurama trivia machine. Then I moved on to a webcomic called Homestuck,
Yes.
which I adore. And, well, yeah, it's kind of decayed, but I still like it. It's, it's still really impacted how I look at stories. And then I was in the middle of Homestuck when I found MLP, and it has completely devoured me.
So you're kind of connoisseur at a wide variety of things, then.
Yes. Oh, and Ace Attorney. I used to write for Ace Attorney, too.
Yay! Yay. I'll just say yay.
Objection!
It's such a fun series. I love it. It has such a great cast of characters.
All right, then. So then finally, RK Striker asks, would you like to upgrade to Technicolor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would like to be polychromatic soon. One day I'll stop being a single color. That would be good.
Technicolor. Well, her other line of evolution is also stereomatic.
Oh, stereomatic. Okay, I'll do that. I'll be like a Pokemon.
Hydromatic.
I can I'll be like Eevee and evolve into different versions of myself.
There you go.
Well, I heard you getting grease lightning over there. Go ahead. What's your next question?
That's all for RK Striker, actually.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to pass the next set of questions from Muggany over to Enigma.
You.
Wonderful.
Good luck. Good luck, Enigma.
I know. Okay.
Because they're awkward, and you're good at it.
Well, of course. Why should I ever expect nice things? Number 1 from Muggany. Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hello?
Yes.
Fucking answer me.
Am.
Pick up the phone.
Oh shit! I need a phone.
I just wanted to see if you'd pick up Chinese on your way home from work. Why do you keep dodging my calls?
Because I'm just a terrible person. I'm so sorry.
And that is all he said.
Just kidding. You get muffin too. Go ahead.
Okay. Mono!
Drink.
Yes. Yes.
Quack?
Quack.
What's your favorite animal? I'm guessing something that goes quack.
No, my favorite animals are cats.
Cats
Nice
go
choice.
quack?
Cats, no. I mean, some might.
No, all I've ever heard cats do was nom, 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 nom.
Oh, yeah. Cats have like a variety of noises. It's very cute.
They do chirp.
I know, the chirping is so cute. Holy cow.
Do you
So
own a
Cheetos.
cat?
Huh?
Do you own a cat?
I do. We recently adopted a cat 2 months ago called Taffy,
Mhm.
who is missing half his ear, but we still love him.
Oh, what a cutie.
Taffy Tabita the Tabby.
Actually, his full name is Sir Reginald von Tafferton Fluffykins Esquire III.
You
I'm
have-
in love with this cat.
Your
We
cat
can-
is a fucking Viscount?
Yes.
We will demand pictures, obviously.
Yes.
I will post them.
Number
The
four.
chat. Hold on. The chat wants to know how is Taffy doing right now.
Taffy is very good. He actually, unfortunately, when we got him, the day we went to pick him up, he got ringworm.
Oh.
So the shelter was like, so we can keep him for a month and he'll be in a cage while we treat him, or you guys will pay for the treatment and you can try and treat him. So we didn't want him to be in a cage for a month. So we were like, yeah, we'll treat him. And as of last week or 2 weeks ago, Taffy is officially ringworm free, so everything is great.
Yay! She's no longer a ringleader.
Oh, well, he's a ringleader in my heart.
He- Remember, it was Sir.
Sorry.
God, get your pronouns right, please.
It's not the wingworm in our anuses that matters, but the ringworms in our hearts.
Wait, where do you think ringworm is? What do you think? What do you think ringworm is?
You're
Enigma?
thinking of a tapeworm.
I honestly
Yeah.
have no idea. I'm just assuming.
It's like a fungus. It's like pretty bad because like it makes their like hair fall out and it's
Yeah,
just
it's on
like
the skin.
and it's like super contagious for like a month we were all terrified.
Yeah, you can totally get it as a human.
Yeah, and like because we wanted to pet him and he's so like he wants to be pet, so it was like it's okay if I get ringworm. This is just the decisions I make, it's okay. I mean, I died for my cats once, so I'll do it again.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. I don't know if you told it to the rest of you who weren't.
Okay,
here for that
can I?
day.
We have a little time. Do we get to know this? What is this?
I told you last. I'm pretty sure I told you last Barcast.
I wasn't here.
Oh, well, I'll do the too long to read version. So 3 years ago, yes, when I was in Mexico, my house flooded, and because I wanted to rescue my cats, I ended up drowning and like literally being dead for like 2 minutes.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh
Like,
yeah,
fuck,
it
man.
was like an entire story, and it was so funny because at the time I was writing the Enchanted Library, and the immediate next chapter after that happened had Rarity flooding some caves and being submerged underwater. So like
Fucking Christ.
when
Oh my
I
God.
got better and I tried to write that chapter, the trauma was so bad that I had to like completely redo the entire chapter and make it so that Rarity somehow escapes these caves without flooding them. Because I tried to sit down and write it and I started like having like, even though I can't actually remember the incident, like I blanked it from my memory, the trauma of it is, I guess, still in some part of my subconscious. But yeah, so it was my brother who brought me back to life, followed by my dad, which led to me like convulsing on the table for like a whole minute while my dad went to get help. And then they took me to the hospital. And then I had like for a month or two the worst existential crisis of my entire life. Like suicidal, like really bad. And what happened is that my car had been destroyed in the flood, obviously, and the insurance, instead of giving me a new car, they gave me money. So because I was so depressed, I thought I need to like if I don't do something differently in my life, I'm gonna like something bad is gonna happen to me. So I took them, and that's how I moved to LA with that money.
Yay!
So I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're still here, and I want to give you a hug right now. But hey, could you say your name like 4 times so I can just kill this drink now? Because holy shit.
Mono, 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 mono.
Thank you.
Yay!
You're so welcome.
Number 4, Enigma.
All right, number 4 is, if there is anything that you want to achieve in your life, what would it be?
So I want to say superficially, I would like to have a really good show or be a screenwriter and like do something like meaningful. But in these past 2 years, I've like that I've been really working on my mental health. I think I just want to be happy with whatever I do.
Mhm.
So if being happy is an achievement I can strive towards, that's what I want to do.
Yay!
That counts. Trust me.
Silly Mono. Don't you know that happiness is a myth?
I will fuck you up and
That
make
is
you let her have
fuck you! I will end you! Just because you're sad doesn't mean you can make all of us sad. That sounds like something that'd be on BoJack Horseman. Number 5, go on.
Number 5. And finally, do you like bows? Because I do too.
I love bows. In fact, my OC has a bow.
Do you actually like bows?
I do. I think they're really cute.
Are you going to be at BabsCon?
Yes. No.
Damn
I'm
it.
going to be at Everfree, not at BabsCon.
What about TrotCon?
No, probably not.
Fuck, I was gonna I have so many bows. I have an obsession with them. I have so many. I was gonna shove some in your general direction.
You can send them to me. I'll give you my address later.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't your OC used to have a Donald Duck sailor hat?
No, there was somebody drew. My boyfriend drew Ducky in a Donald Duck uniform, but that's it.
All right, Priest, it's your time.
Next question is from Monocromatic. Whoever that person is. Mono! I mean, wait, what?
Do I drink? I'm going to drink.
Yes,
Yes,
drink.
that's a
I'm
drink.
gonna drink, so you drink.
Now, the next set of questions is from RBDad47. I'm not correcting myself. Pencil, do you want to take these?
Sure. First question, Mono?
It's me.
Which of your stories are you most proud of, and why?
I read Ash with the pointed questions that he knows get to me. I think that would be the Enchanted Library series. Actually, well, if I could say, it would be a tie between the Enchanted Library series and the choices we make. But EL is a very important story for me because it was a big part of healing from a bad incident I had. And also because I'm so shocked that I did not cancel it 3 chapters in. I'm I can't believe it. So I think EL would be it. Yeah.
All right. What is the best? Okay, we've already gone over who the best ship is besides Raritwi and Twi-Dash, really. Unless there's someone else you want to add.
No, I think I've said it.
Yeah. Why are you talking to us right now when you should be writing? I'm just gonna say tech because it's fun.
Yeah.
I've wanted someone to say it for a long time.
Because shush. Next question.
Fair. Why are ducks the best?
Because they are. They're small and cute, and they quack, and they also have great comics with really cool narratives.
Ooh.
Oh my god, there's a freaking commercial you all need to see.
What is it? What is it?
Holy shit,
Is it
dude.
Affleck? Is it Affleck?
No. It's a commercial about this little ducky that they made for Disneyland Paris. Oh my god, it is the cutest fucking thing you will ever see. I'm gonna link it in.
Do it. I feel like you and I are just.
I think Swan just shared it right here.
Holy shit, dude.
We're just drinking at this point. It's great. Let's do it.
Oh.
God, we don't have to watch it now, but watch it at one point.
How
because
long is
holy
it?
shit, dude. Holy shit.
It's a minute 25 and loud. We should hold off.
We should hold
Yeah.
off. Also, we don't want to get
You're talking about a duck's great qualities, but all of us in the back of our minds are thinking about their worst qualities, like they're rapists and.
Why?
You're thinking of geese! What is wrong with you? Also, by the way, I picked up that game that Swan played on. It
Yes.
looks so good.
The
Untitled
The Goose Game. Yeah, we're gonna play Goose Game on Screaming Closet.
Geese can rape?
Yeah, geese can rape. They have curly cute penises. What do you want?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's I like my fictional ducks that don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Ducks are monogamous. Not actually, but that's fine.
My fictional ducks ask for grapes. So that's all.
And they waddled away, waddle.
Anyway.
Number 6, please.
So, Mono, why are you the best?
I mean, isn't it obvious?
Yes.
That was my answer. That means I don't have to elaborate.
Priest, ask her your questions because you know you want to.
Well, I've got like big questions, but we're just about to the point that we're halfway through the cast. Let's get that out of the way very quickly.
Fine.
Hello, for everyone who's tuned in for the very first time, 100% of the proceeds that happen on the Barcast, whether it is through your guys' ratings or through on Patreon or watching us on YouTube or sending us cheers through Twitch, which we highly appreciate, 100% of our proceeds go to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary in California, where we are sponsoring a horse by the name of Little Bit. You guys got the chance to vote for what horse you like the most, and we get regular updates on his health and everything else. Right now, we're able to donate just about enough every month to make sure he gets fed and taken care of, but we really want to make sure that we can also pay for things like dental cleanings and changing his horseshoes every now and then.
And
so
prostitutes.
And hookers.
Yes.
But,
and so if you'd like to help us out with that, you can donate at our Patreon. There's a link in the chat. Or if you'd like, you can actually donate Twitch bits because we are a Twitch affiliate. And to get those, you can either pay money, which you don't really have to, or you can watch some ads and get them for free and then cheer for us in the chat. We recommend it. It's real fun, and it's real money for us. So thank you.
Whoever donates the most this cast gets their name read at the very end. So please, if you have a few spare bits, please consider it.
And right now it's Priest, so come on. We can
you
do
can
better
do
than
that.
that. Anyway.
Also, if you want $50 of free Barcast merchandise, go check out our forum, where we have a shirt post contest. And just submit your best meme to our email, and we're going to have a big vote. And if you win, you not only win free shirt and mugs, but free shirt and mugs. It'll be great. Now then, we have actual questions. From me, I'm ready.
Just fucking do it.
All right. Question number 0. Please explain a weh.
Weh. That's what it is. Weh. Okay, so weh is like the global encompassing of the feeling of like weh. Like you can't explain it, you just feel it.
Things aren't going great and I'm unhappy about it.
Exactly, yes, exactly. That's a way.
The way. I'm not familiar with this. I'm afraid to say that I do not know the way.
No, stop.
Oh my god. I'm leaving. Okay, bye.
Enigma, I will fucking kill you. I will kill you dead. You will go to sleep tonight, and while you're sleeping in your dreams, you'll think you'll be having a good time. Maybe you're like me and your dad having gumdrops and like soda pop and shit. And all of a sudden, I'm gonna be there with a hatchet going like, hey, bitch, this is for fucking with us during the monocast, and then you will wake up to be killing you. So
what you're saying is I need Ebola to know the way.
Stop. Moving on.
Yeah, tonight in your dreams, bitch. I'll see you there.
The next sort of set of questions are actually thoroughly researched and wanted to prove that, like, oh shit, we actually care about our guests. Number 1, let's talk about Crimson Lips a little bit. Why the separation of steamy stuff from your main account?
So for reference, for I guess anybody who doesn't know, Crimson Lips is a mature story that I post on my alternate account, No Crow. Get it? Because Monocromatic, not Crow, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so the reason I separated them is purely because I'm going to be honest, because I have relatives who have been very pushy about wanting to read my stuff. And they're people who are not very open to LGBT stuff. Right. So I think they're already going to have like, I don't want to get into that discussion with people that I don't really want to get that discussion into.
Right.
And also because, I don't know, I think the real reason I created a different account is because at the time I was in a bad place mentally. And I was really feeling the pressure of being quote unquote monochromatic, which was a lot of it self-inflicted. So I wanted to post it on an alternate account where I didn't have to live up to anything, or including and most importantly myself. So it was just like a fun thing that I could just do, and like whatever happened, happened.
Awesome. Well, number 2, what sort of catharsis comes from writing Crimson Lips?
So again, Crimson Lips, for those who do not know, is a story that is sort of when I first conceived it, it was supposed to be Moulin Rouge, the Raritwi AU. But as I started researching the story, I realized, and Moulin Rouge, if you've seen it or not, is aesthetically a really good movie. I love the aesthetic of it. But some of the topics in it and some of the handling of sexual work is like a little bit yikes. Mm-hmm. So I realized, well, maybe I don't want to like write the Raritwi version of this because it's a little bit yikes. But I like what it says, and also I think it was I really wanted to write. I want to write a story about sex work, mm-hmm. that where I guess the point of it isn't the sex work, while at the same time it is. Like, I just want to write, okay, so this is what it would be like for a character who is a sex worker, and like a romance story set during that part. And at first it was the biggest thing against it was that since I'm not a sex worker, do I have the right to be telling these stories? And especially, there's always the risk of like writing what's called trauma porn. Mm-hmm. So it was like, okay, but if I'm going to do this, I want to do it in a way that's, tasteful, I guess.
Right. You aren't just lavishing in the trauma to like you're not glorifying it. You're trying to create a discussion piece.
I guess, yes. And because I did think like, well, I don't know and because I think historically I've been known to like try and treat these topics with respect, I guess. Which is also to say I'm not going to be like, oh, everything about sex work is great, because that's not the point. It's like me just trying to say, okay, I want to talk about this, whatever it is, without really giving like a statement about it while making a statement. Mm-hmm. And a lot of research went into it, as in like I spent hours, like as I did with Choices We Make, which is a story about suicide hotline centers. I actually interviewed sex workers for Crimson Lips. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of research, and I have at least 3 pre-readers who, to some degrees, were in sex work who pre-read the chapters. And I think the catharsis of writing for it is that it's different, I think. And the way I write it is that I literally just think, okay, because it's sort of in the style of vignettes, I think, okay, what is an interesting question I would like to talk about? And so I write about it. And the other thing I really like about it is the writing challenge of it, mm-hmm. because it's first person rarity, which is something I had never really done before, and which now I'm addicted to. Like, if I could do every story in first person rarity, I would. Mm-hmm. And it's also very interesting because there's 3 characters to it, which is Twilight, Rarity, and then there's narrator Rarity. Because a lot of the chapters follow Twilight, but it's still Rarity narrating Twilight. So it kind of gives in this like really interesting vibe to it. And I think also, like as I mentioned before, it was a story that I wanted to write for no pressure or anything. So I think it's it's become a sort of like small niche story, which I also really enjoy. And the people who read it like it, and like that's fine with me.
So then number 3 expounds upon that, and I like how you use the phrase niche story, which ties in really well to the question of what would you suggest this for others, and if so, what is your favorite short from that compilation?
So this is the thing. I would suggest it to others because honestly, Crimson Lips I could switch it back to teen and it would be fine. Because again, it's like I only have it mature because I don't want to have to be like constantly thinking, is this teen? Is this mature? But it doesn't really. It's not a story about like. It's not, I guess, porn. I guess. Mm-hmm. It's literally just an exploration of an adult topic. And I think, honestly, I do say that I think it has some of my best writing. And because of the way it's written, you can read in order, you can not read in order. There's like, after some point, it would be suggested that you read in order. But if I had to recommend a chapter, it would be one called, well, the beginning, the first chapter. Then there's one called Empty Cups and Empty Chairs, which is very short. It's almost 900 words, but it's honestly, I think, one of the more poignant things I've ever written. Because it's like, so the entire point of this chapter is Twilight is going through a mansion, and she can tell somebody used to live there by what they left behind. By the very absence of their presence makes them present. So that was like really an interesting thing for me to write. Then there's also In Loving Memory, which is, I think, like I don't want to ruin it, but it's like a very fun chapter. Fancy Fleur too, which is why I mentioned Fancy and Fleur, because as I write them in Crimson Lips, there are a couple who routinely goes into sex, like hire sex workers. And they're like, and so they have this really fun dynamic with Rarity that I love to write. And then I think the last one that I would recommend would be Leap of Faith, because that is literally like prime Raritwi. It's like one of the best Raritwi chapters I've written ever.
Awesome.
Honestly, I think it's like all of it is good. I don't mean to be like, yeah, everything I write is good, but a lot of Crimson is just like, it's a good read.
According to the Royal Candlelight Society, everything you write is good. So, just throwing that out there. Well, let's get even deeper. I'm gonna throw out here in this post. I shared someone who exists in your Discord server writing a Raritwi story called "Good Enough" by Frostflower.
Yes.
And the conversation that surrounded the Enchanted Library and Frostflower's fic and a couple other things was kind of spurred around the same time as a question that you felt like you needed to answer to people that, looking around, I felt like no one asked you. So I asked this as a discussion piece. Why do you feel like you can't post as much Raritwi on your main account? And do you think other writers in this fandom feel the same way about content?
Okay, so again, for clarification, Frostflower is actually an alternate account of mine, which has some Raritwi stories that I wrote, including this one called Good Enough. So a lot of it is, again, as I mentioned before, I personally feel like fimfiction in many ways is designed to feel competitive, like a contest. And unlike other fanfiction websites such as Archive of Our Own or fanfiction.net, it really becomes a community, as opposed to like I post my story, some people might comment and that's it. There's not really personalities. There's not really like I can't think of any other fandom, and unless it's like a very small niche fandom where somebody could be like, oh yeah, Monocromatic, and you'd be like, oh yeah, I know they write this and this and this. Like it just, no other fandom or fan fiction website really works that way, which is, you know, an advantage and a disadvantage in fanfiction. And for me, and this is, as I've mentioned before, I've struggled with mental health stuff like insecurities, anxieties, imposter syndrome, like everything that a lot of writers suffer from. Mm-hmm. And I used to, sometimes it felt like whenever I posted something, it carried weight to it because of who I was. And I have had, for example, I have had people like, I post a story, because of my numbers, it gets to feature box, and then people are like, oh, why did this get to feature box? It's just because of your numbers. Or like, oh, can't you write something else other than Raritwi? Stuff like that eventually started getting to me, like very badly. So I started posting on other accounts because I felt like if I post this somewhere where it's not monochromatic, people who just want to read it will read it. And I started thinking, like, I had a very involved discussion about this with my roommate Swan, where he was saying, no, but you want your readers, you want fans of your stuff to be able to find your things. And then part of me was like, okay, sure, but if they really like Raritwi, then they'll find it anyway. So, but that's just like, you know, like a huge mental thing. And I do think it's valid that other writers in the fandom feel this way. And I say this because I have spoken with them. I've spoken with people who, like me, in a way feel typecast or rather, because I want to say that I don't think it's right to say that we're typecast,
Mm-hmm.
but we're told that we're typecasted, if that makes sense. Like, I love writing Raritwi and I like exploring that stuff. But then I feel like people think like, oh, that's all she can do. So I feel like, oh, I need to prove myself that it's not all that I can do. So like I'm miserable in this own typecasting that I wanted, that I created myself. And there's other writers too that I know that have like posted stuff, like especially one at BronyCon 2 years ago. I spoke with him, and we're talking about how he does like these really strange, well, not strange, but these like, I guess let's call them out there fics.
Yes.
And people are always like making jokes about it. Like, oh, you must have been on drugs when you did this. And it's kind of like, no, it's just something I wanted to do. So I do understand why people would want to have alternate accounts. I am definitely trying not to do it so much anymore because I recognize that it is something that is tied to my own insecurities. And obviously like enabling your own mental health issues is like not the way to getting better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I think it is a consequence of how the fandom is led, which again, it has its negatives and its positives.
Well said. Thank you for your dissection. We all know that Frostflower is actually short skirts, but I do appreciate, the desire to put your own name on it. No, I'm just joking.
We're all short skirts, all accounts.
Number 5. What is Raritwi Bomb Day, and should Fimfic be scared?
Oh, okay. So Raritwi Bomb Day is essentially this fun little thing I'm doing in the Enchanted Library Patreon server, where I just basically. So what happened is that one day, a few weeks ago, 2 people were posting Raritwi fanfics. So I was like, oh my god, I should post something too. So it's like a Raritwi trio or whatever. So because the Enchanted Library server is essentially the unofficial Raritwi fanfiction Raritwi server, we're holding this little kind of event where we're all gonna write Raritwi fics, or well, actually no, Rarity and Twilight fics, because it doesn't have to be romance. I was like, you can write it about them hating each other or being mortal enemies, whatever you want, as long as it has them both and they're dynamic. I don't care what you write. And the idea is that we're going to post them for a week, and we're going to try to like spread them out. So it should be fun. And I'm really trying just to make this like a fun thing. I don't want it to be a competition or a contest or anything. So there's no prizes. There's no anything. It's literally just like, if you want to do this, you're so welcome. And I'm very excited. It's like a lot of people have signed up in the server, and we're still deciding if I'm going to start it off or close it off. But it'll be very fun, and I'm really excited for the good content that will come out from that.
Awesome. Now, in the interest of time, there is a 6th question that I have. We'll come back to it if we have time, but we've got literally 20 other people to get through, and I don't want to be selfish and take up too much of your time. So, we're moving on to Sutton now. Number 1, what is your favorite meal, snack, or food stuff that's really unhealthy, but just so good?
So there's many, but my roommate recently ruined my life by introducing me to Coke floats.
You'd never had a Coke float before?
No, I thought it was disgusting. I was like, Coke with ice cream in it? What the hell?
It's so good!
So agree. But like 2 weeks ago, I was like, that is disgusting. And I was like very happy because I had just almost literally gotten over my soda addiction. And then my roommate Swan, who I love dearly, was like, well, I'm going to have a root beer float. And I was like, well, what? And I was like, I hate root beer. Well, you get a Coke float. And I was like, that sounds disgusting, but I guess I'll try it. And it is literally like it is just so hard to not get a Coke float every day. It is like horrible.
But like so vanilla good. Coke is good, so why would vanilla ice cream and Coke be good?
I don't like vanilla Coke. That's why I was like,
what's wrong with you?
Many things.
Chocolate Coke.
Okay, we should move on.
Number 2, what is the biggest or weirdest fear that you have if it isn't spiders?
Mirrors. I used to be really afraid of mirrors.
Mirrors, huh?
Are
Yeah,
you a
because-
vampire?
No, because my brother actually, he's responsible for this, but my brother one time we were like sitting and he was like, yeah, I'm afraid of mirrors. And I was like, oh no, because I noticed that he had a TV in his room, and whenever I went into his room in the mornings, it was always covered. And I was like, why are you covering your TV with a blanket? And he's like, it's the mirror. And I was like, it's a mirror. And he's like, yeah, what if like when I'm sleeping, my reflection gets up and stares at me?
Oh God.
And I was like, what? And he's like, I'm afraid of that. Like, what if like I leave a room?
How old was he? How old was he?
He was like 14, and I was like, at that time 11.
Jesus.
And he was like, what if like you leave the room, but your reflection is still there? And ever since then, it was like a real fear of mine for like a good 6 years, where I was like, if I was like, I had to somehow cover my TV, it terrified me. So honestly,
Raritwi bomb pick idea. They do Bloody Mary. Got it.
I thought you were gonna say I looked in the mirror and I saw that my reflection was a giant spider.
oh man, no, I think it's like really, I think it's like the stuff that I like to think about because it freaks me out so much. It's just kind of like some weird kind of masochism where I'm like, but imagine if this happened, and then I scare myself.
I feel that on a personal level.
When you keep yourself from sleeping at night.
Yeah.
What we got next, Breeze?
Number 3. Why is bagged milk the best milk?
Bagged milk is Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then because my boyfriend is Canadian, so there we go.
Boom.
I can't even yell at you about that, so I'm gonna let it slide.
Number 4. What is your one annoying habit? So something other people do that drives you insane, or something you do that drives people insane?
Oh my god, I'm sure I have many. I think one of my more annoying habits is... Wow, embarrassing? I'm really bad at...
This is a mono be nice to yourself zone.
I'm really bad at PMs.
I really want to see the chat light up with this.
I'm like really bad at PMs and I feel bad about it. Like I'm so bad at like, because people will send me like messages and I'm like, okay, I read it and I'm like, okay, I need to answer this. And then I get distracted and then I don't. And then like a day later, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't reply. It's okay. I'll just never talk to them ever again because they hate me now.
Mono, it's fine. Like people don't reply to PMs sometimes. It's okay. You're fine.
No, I know. It's like, it's a lot in my head, but I think that's an annoying habit I have. And also I am very messy, as my roommate can attest to. What other annoying habits do I have? I think that I can think of without calling my swan here to like tell me. Those are some of the biggest ones.
Awesome. Now then, number 5. What's the theme song for your sex life?
Oh wait, my roommate is here. Oh, okay. He was gonna tell me an annoying habit. And the theme song for my sex life. Can I skip this question?
Yes.
Yes, you can. If you want to.
All by myself. Got it.
Mercy, that's not true. I just can't think of anything right now. I'll get back to you.
She's never alone. She has a spider in her cavity.
Enigma, let the spider go! Let the spider go, Enigma. Fucking A.
Oh. Did Swan have an annoying habit he wanted to share?
Well, yeah, but he left now, so.
Aw,
right,
okay.
what we got next?
He missed it.
We'll just have to have Swan on sometime. Number 6. Watch anime by chance? If so, what are your favorites?
Well, I used to, like, my first anime ever was, so I guess it was Pokemon, but I don't really consider Pokemon an anime, even though I guess I should. Inuyasha was one that I liked. But honestly, my favorite, and I just finished watching it 2 days ago, is Kill la Kill.
Yes!
I will, like, die for, it is such, even though, like, it is, like, obviously the most fan servicey thing ever, but I like that it, like, owns it, and it makes a statement about it. Like,
yeah, it knows what it is.
It is like, huh? Oh no,
you won't lose your way.
No, dude, it's such the music is like so it's so good. Everything, like I just and then the animation, because I was watching it with Little Funk Man, who's my boyfriend. He's an artist, and he was telling me that they're very smart because a lot of things in Kill la Kill is cheap animation, but they do it for comedic effect, so it works.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just such a like, and then like the themes about it, like the build up, it's just such. It's like, and then whenever like as you said, the song "Don't Lose Your Way," whenever the instrumental starts, it's like gets me so hyped. It's just it's such a fantastic anime. I like really liked it.
And everyone wants a Mako for a friend.
I know, right? Holy cow! Everybody needs a Mako in their life. But yeah, it's such a fantastic anime. It's so good.
Number 7. Just how big is your porn stash?
I have none. I mean, I have two or three.
You just watch it online. You don't save it.
Yeah, I don't save it. If I did, I wouldn't save it.
It's just a bunch of pictures of ducks in the wild.
Oh, that would be actually weird. No, well,
boyfriend, I need pictures for science. Number 8. Congratulations, you've been hired at the local strip club. What is your stage name?
So it's actually funny because when I was in college, so I'm gonna start by disappointing you all because I can't say the name. But when I was in college, my friends and I all came up with stripper names for each other. Mm-hmm. So I can't say it because that would be revealing my real name, which is kind of like embarrassing for me.
Yes.
But I guess if I had a stripper name, I don't know what it would be.
It's a Frostflower.
Frostflower. Or no, not Ducky Ink. No Crow would probably be it. No Crow isn't like, no. Frostflower,
Frostflower,
yeah.
Frostflower does sound like a stripper.
Fleur de lis.
Anyway.
Moostasm's up next. Oh my god, it's Monocromatic, the author of My Little Dashie. Number 1.
I'm sorry, Rob, it's not true.
Number 1, Equestria, do you consider a vacation spot or a permanent residence?
A vacation spot. I like hands too much.
Fair.
Number 2, it's time for some cheeky timeline shenanigans. You have the opportunity to replace one piece of historical artwork, including paintings, statues, literature, videos, etc., with a piece of your own artwork. Scratch that. The best fic ever, as decided by BronyCon Endling Edition, voted The Enchanted Library. The Enchanted Library gets the same amount of exposure as the original artwork that you're replacing, including public showings, readings, school assignments, being read in church, etc. What do you replace with the Enchanted Library, and how has history changed?
Fuck, I don't know. Like, okay, I don't mean this self-deprecatingly, but I'm like, why would I want to do that?
Replace the Bible. Ruin everything.
Sure, I'll replace the Bible, and then we'll leave in, and then Raritwianity will be the biggest religion. Yes.
I'm just really proud that no one's replaced To Kill a Mockingbird yet. It's so safe. It's such a good book. Anyway. Number 3.
Fuck, man.
If you were the very model of a modern major general, would you have information primarily A, animal, B, vegetable, or C, mineral?
Mineral.
Nailed it. Gara, the author, is up next. Mono, at cons, your Pikachu hat is worn by literally dozens of individuals in various stages of unwashedness. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about getting lice?
Oh, 10. Oh, absolutely. 10. Like,
are you actually worried about that?
No, like, so it's kind of, no, because at the same time, like, okay, I only lend the hat to my friends, so I like to trust that if they had lice, they would tell me. But, like, somebody, like, at a con mentioned it, was like, hey, have you ever thought about lice? And I was like, oh my god, I hadn't thought about that. So I came home, and, like, I had an itch in my head, and I was like, oh! And then I sort of, like, went to, like, how would I even, like, find out? I would just not say anything, because I don't want to embarrass my friends, so I'd be like, hey, do any of you have lice? Because you may have given it to me. So I've just, like, accepted that this is a risk. And
you're treating lice like an STD, and that's amazing.
You might want to get yourself text. You need to make some calls.
Actually, what I was thinking I'm going to do. But then see, because I was going to have a second Pikachu hat, and that would be the one that I pass around, I guess.
So you're fine with giving other people lice?
Well, see, that's the problem, because then I was like, wait, but then that's not nice to the other people, so I was like, okay, I guess it's ride or die. So we all ride or we all die.
You know they make a spray you can spray into hats if you're, like, giving it to other people that will kill lice on contact?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Have you considered Have you considered?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go.
Have you considered wrapping your head in a shower cap? Wrap it.
Yeah. Okay, but that's like.
Wrap it before you cap it.
We don't need
That's not
hat
it. Good
condoms.
job.
We don't need hat condoms.
But but then that's kind of like telling my friends, hey, I'm worried you have lice, so I'm gonna put this cap on. No, it's ride or die. Like, I trust you, and if you fuck me over, then it's fine because you're my friend, I guess.
This is a very scary conversation. I feel like we're riding a bleeding edge here, so I'm gonna go to Cursory. I hope I said that right. Mono, why are you so rude to your editing team?
I mean, they're like volunteering, so like you could say that they're willingly subjecting themselves to me. So, Also because I'm not rude, actually. Yeah, no, fuck you. I mean, no, I love you. No, Christopher, I love you.
I'm not rude. Fuck you.
That's great. I need to use that in something. I'm not rude. Fuck you for saying that.
I mean, to be fair, like my editors, Cursory and Dawson, and the very good Carabas, who I adore, are always like being rude to me. So this is like a mutual rudeness. So like it's fine.
Well, Cursory's in chat and is very offended.
No, I'm sorry.
And now someone's saying it in your Discord server now. So good job.
Oh my god, I'm sorry for the downfall of quality of my fics from now on. Yep.
That's what manners gets you.
I'm going to do everything in my power to get this right. Undom Tinway is up next. You've written a lot of AU Raritwi and a lot of canon Raritwi. How would you say those two experiences differ?
I think mostly it's the world building. Because actually, well, no. I mean, canon Raritwi, you're just focusing on their canon interactions or like their canon dynamic. So it's like that. And then AU Raritwi, you can like go into a lot more as like the lore, the background, and I think what's also really fun is you have to see how are these characters still Rarity in Twilight but changed by their new environment. So I think that would be like the biggest change, and the biggest difference, and it's something that I really enjoy. Like the way I write Rarity in, for example, a canon story is absolutely nothing like I would write Rarity in my Bodyguard AU series. But they're still both, I hope, undeniably Rarity. So I think that's like what's really fun is like writing the same characters but with like different personality, like with different histories that inform how they act.
I like it. Now then, Paul Asarin is up next. Mono, lazing around in bars talking to people of questionable morals when you should be working on the Enchanted Kingdom. For shame, my dear, for shame. All right, an actual question. How goes the potential adventure of getting the Enchanted Library in print form for those of us waiting for that to do a reread? What would you say doing it for a single large story is easier or harder than doing it for a short story collection?
But for the first question, for those interested, that is definitely in the works. It is potentially going to happen maybe before the end of the year. Maybe. Or if not, the beginning of the year. And it's gonna be into 3 volumes because it is pretty big. And all 3 volumes will have brand new artwork. Not inner artwork, but just like cover art, which is going to be really cool. And so, as for the second question, I'm very fortunate that I'm working with RB-47, who of Pony Feather Publishing.
Mm-hmm.
So really, he's the one who could really better answer that, because he's the one who has to he copy edits it, he proofreads it. But I think it is definitely harder for a large story because there's so much to take in.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it depends, if you're doing a copy editing pass or actual editing pass. Like for the book I recently sold, Monologues, it's only a copy editing pass, so I'm not actually changing content. I was just doing editing, just so that it reads better. While the Enchanted Library, the one that will be published, is actually going through proper editing where I'm taking out scenes that don't really make sense. And obviously, I think the biggest challenge of it is like not being too critical of it. Because I'm reading a story that I started when I literally didn't know what I was doing. It was like the first time I wrote an adventure story. So right now I'm reading it and I can see a lot of things that I'm like, this isn't so good. So the biggest challenge that I've been actually encountering is if I were to rewrite the story from the ground up, then it wouldn't be the story people like. It might be a good story. No, I'm not saying it would be a bad story, but it's not what people like, Mm-hmm. So it's kind of this fight between like, at what point do I have to stop self-editing myself, and at what point do I have to just accept that this is how it is and people like it? And even if right now I'm critical of it, when I wrote it, I genuinely liked it. So I think that's just the biggest challenge for me, personally speaking. And although what I've been doing to sort of make it better is I've been doing live readings of it in the Patreon server, which are like really fun. I love doing live readings. So doing it that way, it's like, because people join it feels like an activity between all of us. So it's like, it's easier not to self-edit yourself when you're like, other people are enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, nice. Toomer says what we're all thinking and corrects Paul Asarin by saying people with questionable morals, and says that
I resemble that remark.
That implies that we aren't objectively awful people, and that's frankly insulting. Up next, Short Skirts and Explosions is up next, who asks you, what doth life?
Life doth?
Life doth.
Yay!
Well said. Harlan Books is up next. Number 1, how are you?
Good. I'm fine. I'm talking with friends.
Yeah.
We're friends.
We're upgraded to friends.
No,
friends.
Legitimately. Like,
I have a friend now?
No, not you.
Oh, yeah, I guess not you. Yeah.
Oh.
But, no, I mean, legitimately. And I resent that earlier you guys were like, oh, I don't like talking with you guys, because at BronyCon, one of, like, my favorite moments was when I got to talk with you guys. So, like, yeah, no self-deprecating here. Unless it's me. Actually,
that doesn't work. Me. No. Everyone in chat freaks out. Number 2, how and when did you learn to write stories?
Well, I started, as I said earlier, writing for Pokemon. And I was like really bad. I was like really bad at it. I was like you could actually still find them on fanfiction.net, and it was just this really, and it's so funny because I wrote like at one time a 500-word chapter, and I thought I was like, oh my god, I bet Hemingway never wrote as much as I did. And now in retrospect, I'm like, oh, silly to ask me. But essentially, I just learned to write by like writing and absorbing other media, I think, paying attention to other narratives. I think actually the biggest thing that has helped me with my writing is the comic I mentioned before, Homestuck. Because what Homestuck did, for its flaws, and it's for those who don't know, it's a huge webcomic. Yes. It was really, really good at something that I called macro narrative, or that actually Swan taught me. Which is essentially what's the bigger picture. So, like, there were things in Homestuck, like a one-off reference that suddenly in the next act was, like, completely changed the one-off reference. And it was, like, that kind of writing where everything is interconnected and interweaved is something that has really helped me grow a lot as a writer. And think of writing as, like, something, like, what am I, like, how can I say something really meaningful with this.
Right.
And then I think also, I think honestly, fanfiction is one of the best ways to learn how to write, because you get traction and you get people who comment, which is very hard to do initially when you're only writing original stories.
Right. And it's difficult to find an audience with original stories unless you already have some sort of platform.
Exactly. I have a story and I feel bad for my friend and she's changed her tune, but when I was like first starting out, I had a friend in college who was stoutly like, she wouldn't tell me like, I think you're garbage for writing fanfiction, but she was definitely like, but fanfiction, you should be writing original stuff.
Yeah. I actually, sorry, please go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was just gonna share that I have a friend who like is trying to become a screenwriter in Hollywood, and he sells like his poetry in $3 books outside the back of his car, and he goes, "Oh yeah, so how'd your Baltimore trip go?" I go, "Oh well, my book sold out," and he hasn't talked to me in like 3 weeks.
Well, so. Yeah, that's the thing. And so my friend, like, she would say these things, and then she would post her stories, and they would get like, and even though I thought they were good, they would still get only like 20 views maybe, and then I was meanwhile publishing The Enchanted Library, which was huge at the time. So I think a lot of people underestimate how like the advantages. I mean, people who are not in fanfiction underestimate really the advantages of how fanfiction can be useful. I also do think, however, it can be a harsh environment because I was very lucky in the sense that when I first started out writing, I didn't get people who were like super like destroying me, so I was never like put off. Which unfortunately is something that I have had, newbie writers who got like a pretty bad critique and they just never tried again. Yeah. But literally, like honestly, if you're lucky and you surround yourself with people who really are trying to improve, I think writing fanfiction is like the best way to learn how to write stories, or to begin writing stories and then transition into original.
All right, I'm going to desperately try to get through everyone's questions because there's only 23 minutes left, and there's still a lot of people. So the other guy says, hey.
Oh, you skipped the other one?
I did.
I wanted number 3.
Okay, we'll do number 3. Number 3 from Harlan Book is, Rarity and Twilight are about to fall off a cliff, and you can only save one of them. Who is it going to be?
So the word Yen says both actually know how to teleport, no one dies, so I would like to say that. But if I had to save one, it would be Rarity, because Twilight has wings. So.
Okay. Now it's time for questions with Vylon.
It's time for questions with Vylon.
I don't know if Vylon asked you questions last time, Mono. And I'm almost half sorry in advance, but I think everyone's really excited right now.
Don't lie, you're not sorry.
We're not sorry. Read them! Read them! We have no time!
Number 1 is, have you ever wondered how many houses you passed in your lifetime that have people locked in the basement?
I actually wonder this.
I do about this.
Oh, God.
Let me 1 second to think about this.
Oh, God.
The fact that you have to think about it.
No, like, honestly, because that's something that I've thought about it because, we actually did an escape house, that had to do with, like, a person had been locked in a basement. Mm-hmm. So that was something that I, like, at the time, I was like, man, I can't believe that this actually happens, and I've never wondered that, but I'd rather not know or think about it.
All right.
And next question I'll take from Vylon is, how are you today after that?
You're going to skip that one. Hi, don't blame you. Okay.
I am good. As I said earlier, I'm talking with you guys.
Yeah. Sunbro for Life is up next. Number 1, what is your favorite video game?
Paper Mario 1000-Year Door.
Yes!
Yeah, Paper Mario 1000-Year Door or Bowser's Inside Story.
Number 2, what's your favorite boss fight in a video game?
Huh. Oh, wow, that's like... Oh, I know. So in Twilight Princess, Zelda Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Yay!
You can distract Ganondorf by taking out your fishing rod, and he just stares at it like an idiot.
That's the best.
That
So
sounds like a
that's
euphemism.
why I love it. No, it's great because you like stick it out and he's just like staring at it, and so you
Stick
distract him
it
and then you
out
like.
and he's staring at it.
God damn it, Enigma.
So I really like that one, and I think my other favorite boss fight would be the last boss fight of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, just because the music is so cool. I like the music, gets me pumped.
Yay!
Do it, Priest. Do
Number
it.
3. Have you accepted Skeletor, the master of the universe, into your heart?
I have now.
Yay!
Yes! Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna jump to Mr. Numbers.
Okay.
How good is your macro writing, though?
I have great macro writing. If there's something I can say I'm proud of, it's my macro writing.
Yay.
I think like that's something I'm really good at.
Macro writing.
So large mares sticking tiny mares in their vaginas. Got it.
Sure.
This suddenly became the B25 cast. Majin Tico is up next. Will you marry me?
Yes. Totally,
Whoa.
Imagine. Let's just go.
All right, wedding on the Barcast next week. Let's do it. Anyway.
Okay, Jamal.
Just read the first part of that question. Anyone who wants to read the argument, you can do so on the screen. Milk will scroll so you can see the rest of it. Just read the first part of that question.
I didn't realize this whole post was around this one question.
Yeah, just read the one question. Let's hear the answer.
Of the 3 chipmunks and Alvin and the Chipmunks, which one do you think gives the best head?
He wrote down gets the best head.
So the interesting thing is I never saw Alvin and the Chipmunks. So
Okay.
I don't know. Also, they're chipmunks. I don't know if they would like that.
I mean, they're
Okay,
chipmunks,
yeah.
so they can definitely fit some nuts in their mouth. So
Oh my
Because-
god!
But guys, the question was who gets the best head.
I mean, this is such a rabbit hole. I don't even know what to say here.
Alvin,
It's a chipmunk hole. Get it better.
Pencil, you know everything about animal genitalia. What does a chipmunk's penis look like?
I would assume it looks like a little like grain of rice based on like how rat penises look. That being said, chipmunks have gigantic, huge testicles. So like I don't know.
Well, after that lesson, we're going to move to R5H. What misunderstanding of the Raritwi dynamic peeves you the most when you see it in fiction or in the show?
Rarity a gold digger?
Yeah. Oh my god! I have I did something regarding that I regret and I won't tell you about. But yeah, I think Rarity. I think it's Rarity that the idea that Rarity is only with Twilight because she's a gold digger or because she's a social climber. But the thing is, I also have a very different idea of what social climbing means.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely, I think that's the worst thing. Where like I think Rarity is like treated as like, oh, she's only with Twilight because she wants to be royalty or society or whatever. I've never seen it in the show, so.
Yeah, there's this big misconception that like Rarity is just like shallow, and it's.
I mean, she literally went into a dragon's cave and started stealing its gold right in front
Oh
of
no,
her.
absolutely. Like, you know what? Like, this is the thing. Absolutely, in the beginning of the show, sure. But I also think that Rarity is a character who has, in most occasions, shown to like grow out of that. And I also think a lot of people don't realize that she does have a business. And
Yeah.
and the reality is, and I can say that as being in Hollywood and trying to make it as trying to make it as a screenwriter as I have had for the past 2 years. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, in many businesses, it really is who you know. So
It is.
and I explained this in I think the On Raritwi blog, but the biggest reason I ship or like that I was attracted to Raritwi or their dynamic is because in Sweden Elite, after everything Rarity did, which sure I contest she shouldn't have there were better ways, but at the end of the day she was still trying to be there with Twilight and for her party, even though it was them who came to her. And she hadn't said, oh, I'm gonna go to your party. But the biggest side of like that Twilight understood is when when everything is revealed, Twilight says, "Oh, that was really smart of you because you're trying to do your business." And the fact that Twilight got that and understood that's how that works is what made me like be like, okay, I really like this. Because a lot of people think, oh, she's just climbing the ladder, but sure, and maybe in season 1 when she was still like starry-eyed over nobles, but later on she has to have a business, and you can't pretend that it isn't who you know. I mean, sure, it is to the extent like your talent, but the reality is that a lot of businesses like either you know people and network, or you won't really get anywhere.
Ooh, these two know business. I'm gonna write them touching butts.
Anyway, Priest.
Next question is from Apple Tank, and it's not really a question. He apologized in advance for the mediocre entry to the Raritwi bomb.
It's not mediocre.
Apple Tank, don't be mean to yourself. This is a no-mean zone.
That's not true, but let's continue.
Jammer's up next. So, was this chat worth it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay, we're not shut yet.
Number 2, have you had a good day so far?
I have. It started kind of rough, but now ever since I got here, I feel better. So yeah.
Yay! Are you aware of John Carpenter's The Thing?
No.
It's a horror movie in which a giant amorphous blob in the Arctic kills everybody.
Oh, okay, I know.
Shift.
Yes, okay, I know that. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well, there's a pony OC for this horrifying character. Would you give Thing Pony a big ol' hug? Picture for reference.
If they don't kill me, sure.
Yay!
Behind the counter if you want to take a look what it looks like. Do you see her? Do you see her?
I see her.
Do you like her?
I think she's cute.
Next question. How many pictures of fashionably cute horse do you desire?
Oh my god, so many. I love Rarity. I appreciate that this was like a Raritwi picture that they linked, so thank you for that.
Oh no, they're touching tips.
Is cute. Now we're going to Olden Brony, someone that we hold very close to our hearts. Number 1, why ducks?
Because I unabashedly adore the Disney Ducks universe, so ducks became my thing.
Do you remember that video I sent you randomly one day where it's Donald Duck singing Simple and Clean?
Oh my god, that was hysterical! God, that was really funny. I love like bad covers with Donald Duck. There was one where he's singing, I don't remember. I'll think about it and then I'll link it. But yes, ducks are cute. And angry.
We already touched on Crimson Lips a little bit, so number 3, what inspired the Bodyguard series?
The Bodyguard series was created by Earthsong9405, who is a fantastic artist. And she's the one who actually created the concept of like, oh, what if Rarity was the queen of some kingdom and Twilight was her bodyguard? And it's interesting because after my first big fic, Enduring Eternity, I was planning on leaving the fandom. But it was because of this series that I was like, oh, that's cute. I'll write a story for that. And that's really what like made me stay here.
Yeah. Earthsong makes a lot of headcanons. I also wrote something of hers.
Yeah, she has, what I really like about Earthsong is she has like, she's so good at being like, okay, imagine this and this and this and this. And you're like, holy shit. And I love that she is great. She is amazing enough to let people expand on her verses. Like she's somebody who really encourages people taking her concepts and doing stuff with them. And she's a total sweetheart. But yeah, so basically, most of my Bodyguard AU series is I grabbed the framework that she set out and some of the rules, and then I just went from there.
Awesome. The next question is why ship Rarity and Twilight, which is something we kind of covered, and also you wrote.
Yeah.
I don't want to say a book on, but we actually got that blog post that we were mentioning earlier in the cast from Apple Tank, and we shared it with the chat on what makes Raritwi special for you. So I definitely encourage everyone to go out and read it. So the next question we're going to take is from Swan Song. Tell us about your favorite non-MLP ships and raw repairs.
So, my other biggest ship that I had for a while was, as I mentioned before, when I was in Futurama. I shipped, for those of you who haven't seen Futurama, Leela and Bender.
Aw.
I died for them, and it was like literally me and two other people. And it would just like I love their dynamic. And Bender was my favorite character, and I think he had like a very fun dynamic with Leela.
I love you, Bender. Shut up, baby. I know it.
Actually, that's the thing. What I really liked is that Leela didn't put up with that shit. So that I thought it was just like it was really interesting. What other ships do I like? From Homestuck, I had a bajillion ships. What else? From Ace Attorney, I shipped Maya Fey with Edgeworth.
Aw.
I think that's like the biggest ships I can think of that are not MLP. Yeah.
Or what about rare pairs? Because I missaid it last time.
They're all rare pairs. All of them. They're all rare pairs. I like, as you can see, I hate myself, so I always go for ships that nobody ships.
Yay!
Korosami.
Of course, Korosami is so fucking good. Yes, Korosami. That's another ship. Oh my god, it's so good. Yes.
Nebula Nix is up next, and this is his first Barcast, or her first Barcast. First of all, welcome. I'm going to snag a few of these questions here that we haven't touched before. Number 2, is there a story behind Ducky Inc.?
I guess. No, well, yeah. So the story behind her is that a friend of mine, who's also an artist called the Chipster, one day asked me if she was trying to draw something. She's like, hey, so send me a reference of your OC or your Pony Sona. And I was like, I don't have that. She was like, why not? And I was like, I don't know. I just never thought of that. So she was so appalled by this that she designed an OC for me. And like the only thing I told her was like, listen, I just want to have braids, a bow, twilight bangs, a unicorn, and a ducky, a cutie mark in the shape of a duck with ink, and I guess duck colors or whatever. And so she created Ducky Ink, who is admittedly very cute, and I love her very much.
So her backstory is her parents were killed by ducks in a dark alley, and she was raised by them.
Oh wait, did she? I don't know if he actually meant like the actual character. Then there also is a backstory for that. But I thought he meant like how she was created. Do I tell the backstory? Like the silence?
No, sorry. I was trying to catch up on a few other like clerical things.
Okay.
I'm going to grab number 4 here, since we only have a few time for a few more questions here. What are some of your favorite stories on FimFictions that you have not written, both safe for work and not safe for work?
Let me go into my favorites. So the first one that I can say is called The Shadow of a Doubt by Arden's Facts, which is arguably the story that got me into Raritwi and the reason like I like ship it as much as I do. There's also another really good story which I cannot for the life of me think about, but it was it was Carrot Top being like desperately in love with Applejack and being in denial about it. God, what was it? It was like actually I have a favorite in my folder. I'm an idiot. Oh, Bitter Harvest by Esli Inopemos, which is literally just Bitter Harvest being salty about liking Applejack, and it's hysterical the entire way out. There's also Kind Wolf has a lot of my favorite fics.
Yeah.
Including 80 Days Till the World's Farthest Shore. And a mature not safe for work, Raritwi not safe for work called The Sickness Unto Death, which is fantastic and is actually some of the inspiration for, like, stylistically the inspiration for Crimson Lips. There's also, what else do I like? Princess Stupid Jerk McButt Has a Picnic with Her Dumb Friends and Fluttershy by the Great and Powerful Trixie, which is by Twinkledale. And Mr. Numbers wrote another really great fic that I like. And I actually wrote it for the Barcast contest, the rarity one, called The Price of Happily Ever After, which is a really, really good exploration of what I was talking about earlier, about how like it is who you know in a business and how this can work against you. And it is just a really fantastic rarity fic even. So yeah, those are like some of my favorite fics.
Awesome. Well, we're just about at the end of cast here, and there were so many questions we had to skip according to time. You're just too popular of a person. So, if there are any questions that someone asked and maybe we didn't get the chance to get to, what would be the best way to get in touch with you or send you a question?
So PMs probably, or Discord if you have me. Actually, PMs. If you don't mind that, I'll take a little bit to reply. You can try on Discord, but I will definitely take a little bit to reply. But yeah, I think PMs is like the best way.
Awesome. Well, we want to take the time to especially thank you for sitting down with us and letting us ask these terrible questions. But nevertheless, best of luck on the Enchanted Kingdom and everything that you're doing with the Enchanted Library. You've got a lot of great things going for you, and hopefully we will not see you stop anytime soon.
Thank you. It was really nice to be here, as was the last time.
Yay! I want to give a shout out to Azure Notion, who just donated 5,000 bits and is our top donator for this week. All that's going to go to a little bit. Thank you so much for the donation. And of course, we have a cast next week. Oh, wait, no. Actually, we don't have cast next week. I take that back. Too many of us are going to be busy, so there's no cast next week. But then the week after that, Milk, who do we have? I set you up for this.
I'll do it by memory. What's the week after the first week of October, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's Vinyltastic.
Yay, we're going to have Vinyltastic
We're going to get fired again.
Yay! It's going to be a great time. So then, thank you everyone for watching this edition of the Barcast. Your bartenders for this evening have been a non-pencil.
Yay!
Enigmatic Otaku.
So I just pulled out this annoying nose here, but it turned out to be a spider.
Oh my god.
Flaminорfer.
Alvin gives the best head because everyone knows the singers of the boy bands get the most ass.
Jesus Christ. Milk.
I'm concerned for everybody's mental health now.
The wonderful Monochromatic.
Bye, everybody.
I'm Priestacorn. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.